Imagine the most beautiful place on earth, Vrindavan. The forests are green, the Yamuna River is flowing softly, and the air smells of jasmine and sandalwood. It is a paradise. It is the playground of God himself. In this paradise, a group of young boys, the Gopas, are playing. They are innocent, they are laughing, they are chasing calves and blowing their buffalo horns. They feel completely safe because their best friend Krishna is with them. And when Krishna is there, what is there to fear? But they didn't know that on this specific morning, something was watching them from the shadows. Something ancient. Something hungry. We often think of demons in Hindu mythology as warriors with swords or giants with clubs. But the demon waiting for them that day was different. He was a shapeshifter, a master of camouflage, a creature of such immense size and dark magic that he could hide in plain sight. His name was Aghasura, and he had not come to fight Krishna. He had come to eat him. This is not just a story about a snake. This is one of the earliest examples of body horror in mythology. It is the story of a trap so perfect that even the gods in heaven covered their eyes in fear. It is the story of how a picnic turned into a massacre and how Krishna turned a stomach into a tomb. To understand the rage of Aghasura, we have to look at his family tree. Demons, like humans, have families. They have loyalty. Aghasura was the younger brother of Putana, the witch who tried to breastfeed poison to baby Krishna. He was also the brother of Bakasura, the giant crane demon who tried to swallow Krishna whole. Both of his siblings were dead, killed by this small, smiling blue boy. Aghasura was consumed by grief and vengeance. He didn't just want to kill Krishna, he wanted to erase his entire existence. He wanted to digest the very source of joy in the universe. He thought, if I kill him in battle, he becomes a hero, but if I eat him, he becomes nothing. He becomes waste. So, Aghasura slithered into the forests of Vrindavan. He didn't attack. He waited. He used his mystic powers to expand his body. He grew, and he grew, and he grew. He stretched his body for 8 miles. His skin hardened into rock. His scales became indistinguishable from the rough terrain of the Braj Mountains. He opened his mouth so wide that his upper jaw touched the clouds, and his lower jaw lay flat against the earth. He stopped moving. He stopped breathing. He became a statue of death. To the naked eye, he was no longer a snake. He was a magnificent, mysterious mountain cave. The cowherd boys, wandering through the forest, stumbled upon this new cave. Now, you have to understand the psychology of the trap. Aghasura made his tongue look like a broad, red highway leading into the darkness. His teeth, sharp and massive, looked like jagged mountain peaks. His breath, usually foul and poisonous, was disguised to smell like the damp, earthy scent of a deep cavern. The boys were curious. One of them pointed and said, "Look, a new cave has appeared. Let's explore it." Another boy, perhaps a bit wiser, hesitated. "Wait," he said. "Does that not look like a giant snake? Look at the top, it looks like a jaw. And that darkness inside, it looks like a throat." This is the moment of tragedy. The boys stood at the precipice of death, debating. But their faith in Krishna was so absolute it made them reckless. One of them laughed. "Even if it is a snake, why should we worry? Krishna is here. If this is a monster, Krishna will tear it apart just like he did to Bakasura. Let's go inside and see." Driven by this innocent arrogance, they marched forward. The calves went first, trotting happily onto the red, fleshy tongue. The boys followed, clapping their hands, shouting into the echo of the cave. Aghasura lay perfectly still. He felt their small feet on his tongue. He felt the hooves of the calves. He could have snapped his jaws shut right then. But he waited. He was waiting for the main course. He was waiting for the blue boy. Krishna, who was trailing behind, saw everything. Being the Supreme Lord, he knew exactly what this was. He knew this wasn't a cave. He knew it was Aghasura. He saw his friends walk into the darkness. He saw them disappear down the throat. For a moment, even Krishna paused. The scriptures say the devas in the sky screamed, "No, no, don't go!" But Krishna has a rule. He never abandons his devotees. If his friends walked into hell, he would walk into hell to get them back. If they walked into a stomach, he would follow them. Krishna stepped onto the lower jaw. He walked calmly down the tongue. The moment Krishna entered the throat, Aghasura snapped his jaws shut. Darkness, absolute darkness. Suddenly, the cave was gone. The cool air was replaced by the hot, humid, acidic stench of a demon's gut. The sky was cut off. The boys screamed. They were trapped inside a living, breathing prison that was preparing to digest them. Outside, the mouth was sealed. Aghasura's eyes, which he had kept closed to mimic rocks, snapped open. They glowed with triumph. He had done it. He had eaten God. He had swallowed the entire universe. But digestion requires the victim to be small. And Krishna is not small. Inside the throat, amidst the screaming boys and terrified calves, Krishna smiled. He decided it was time to show Aghasura who exactly he had swallowed. Krishna began to expand. This wasn't a simple growth. This was the expansion of the cosmos. He grew taller, wider, heavier. He pushed against the soft walls of Aghasura's throat. Outside, the demon's triumph turned to panic. Aghasura felt a lump in his throat that wouldn't go down. He tried to vomit, but he couldn't. He tried to swallow, but he couldn't. Krishna kept expanding. He grew until he completely blocked the demon's airway. Imagine the physiology of the demon in that moment. His windpipe was crushed. His lungs were starving for air. He began to thrash around the forest. This 8-mile-long serpent whipped its tail, smashing trees, crushing rocks. His eyes started to bulge out of their sockets from the internal pressure. He was suffocating on God. The pressure built up. It was pneumatic, hydraulic, cosmic pressure. Aghasura's skin stretched to its limit. His veins popped. He rolled his eyes back in agony. Life was trying to escape, but every exit was blocked by Krishna. Finally, the body could not hold the infinite. With a sound like a thunderclap that shook the three worlds, the top of Aghasura's head burst open. His skull shattered. The pressure found the only exit it could, creating a fountain of blood and light from the crown of his head. The life force of the demon fled into the sky, hovering there, waiting. Inside the now dead carcass, Krishna shrunk back to his beautiful human form. He looked at his friends who had fainted from fear. With a glance, he revived them. He patted the calves. And then, leading the way, Krishna walked out of the demon's smashed mouth, bringing everyone back into the sunlight, as if they were just returning from a spelunking adventure. The devas showered flowers. The soul of Aghasura, cleansed by the touch of the Lord inside him, merged into Krishna's feet, achieving liberation. Even a demon who wanted to eat God was granted peace, simply because he held God inside him for a few moments. This story is terrifying, but the meaning is beautiful. The word Agha in Sanskrit means sin. Aghasura represents the sins that we willingly walk into. Sometimes sin looks like a beautiful cave. It looks like an adventure. It looks safe. We walk right into the mouth of addiction, anger, or greed, thinking, I can handle this, I am safe. Before we know it, the jaws snap shut. We are trapped in the darkness, suffocating. We cannot get out on our own. The only way out is to invite Krishna into that darkness. When the divine enters our sin, he doesn't judge it. He expands within it. He takes up so much space that the sin itself cannot breathe. He destroys the negativity from the inside out, bursting the skull of our ego and leading us back into the light. So, if you feel trapped in a cave of your own making today, remember Aghasura. Don't try to fight the walls alone. Call for Krishna. If this story of the cave that ate children gave you goosebumps, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm share these powerful ancient stories with the world. And I want to ask you, what is the Aghasura in your life right now? What is the trap you walked into? Let me know in the comments, and let's discuss how to break free. Subscribe for more dark, deep, and untold stories of the Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.